Imagine, my dear spectator, the vast North Atlantic in the dead of winter. Heavy waves, a wind that wails like an ancestral lament, and in the distance, swaying like a body adrift, a ship without command. Its name, Mary Celeste. The story begins on November 7th, 1972, when Captain Benjamin Briggs, a man respected for his skill and serenity, set sail for Genoa with his wife Sarah, his little daughter Sophia Matilda, and 7 trusted crew members. The freighter was carrying over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that seemed to foreshadow the abyss that was to come. But on December 5th, only a month later, another ship, the Dei Gratia, sighted the Mary Celeste, and what it saw did not belong to the world of the living. The ship swayed slowly, as if guided by invisible hands. The sails were worn, some torn, but still functional. There were no signs of fire, nothing pointed to a devastating storm. And when the Dei Gratia's team decided to board, they found a scene that would become, even today, one of the most iconic mysteries in maritime history. Everything was there. Everything. Provisions were intact, enough food for over 6 months. The galley was tidy and washed. Everyone's personal belongings were neatly arranged. Sarah's clothes and little Sophia's toys were still in their places. Even a small organ in the captain's cabin seemed to have been played just days before. But something was missing, or rather, everyone was missing. The entire crew had disappeared without a struggle, without blood, without a trace, and without logic. The lifeboat, it is true, was not there. But why? The main vessel was in excellent condition, enough to continue the voyage. And then the details that chill even the most skeptical begin. There were strange marks on the deck, like deep scratches of uncertain origin. A rusty sword was found under the first mate's bunk, with no signs of combat. And the most intriguing thing, the ship's chronometer and sextant had vanished, carefully removed, as if someone planned to navigate on their own. But if they fled, why? What did they flee from? The theories began to blossom like shadows. The phantom explosion theory. It is said that one of the barrels found leaking could have released flammable gases. A pop, a flash, and perhaps the captain feared an imminent explosion, ordering everyone into the lifeboat. But why abandon a stable ship? And why was no one ever found? Mutiny? Difficult. The crew was experienced, and there were no indications of a struggle, not a drop of blood, no marks of resistance. How could a mutiny be so silent? Pirate attack. And what would they have taken? Nothing was plundered. Everything was impeccably tidy. Sea monsters? Absurd for some, inevitable for others. The ocean guards unfathomable secrets. Supernatural interference? Some say the ship entered a dead sea, a silent vortex where reality seems to weaken, where voices call to those who listen, and those who answer never return. But one of the darkest theories comes from the original reports themselves. The men of the Dei Gratia claimed the ship appeared to have been abandoned in a hurry. The child's bed was unmade. Warm clothes were left behind, despite the harsh winter. The logbook with the last entry made days earlier, as if suddenly everyone had heard something or seen something and fled without thinking. What could have scared an entire crew so much? More than 150 years have passed, and the Mary Celeste continues to sail through the minds of investigators, curious and lovers of the unknown. No one ever found a trace of the Briggs family. No one found signs of the lifeboat. No one found answers. The ship, however, continued to exist, an empty hull condemned to be a floating memorial to a disappearance that will never be explained. In 1885, years after its mystery was born, the Mary Celeste finally sank, taking with it what remained of its story. And so, my dear spectator, the ocean remains its true owner, and we are left only with questions. What made 9 adults and 1 child abandon a perfect ship on the high seas? What kind of silent terror could drag everyone from their quarters without leaving signs of panic? Did they jump, or were they taken? Or are they still out there, sailing eternally, invisible to us? Some mysteries exist to be solved. That of the Mary Celeste exists to remind us of what hides between the waves and what we will never have the courage to face. So, did you enjoy this story? If so, leave a comment below telling us what other legends, mysteries, or dark cases like the one we just told you would like to see here. I really want to know what you thought and what your suggestions are for future videos. Don't forget to share, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This helps a lot and ensures you don't miss any new stories. Thank you for watching until the end. And when you step on a board that will set sail to the ocean, remember, you may never return.